Hello, I'm Diane Calkin with Utterly Simple Designs. It's April and time for block number 4 of our block a month quilt, English Garden. Here it is right here. It's 58.5 by 58.5. Remember, all of the instructions for blocks 1 through 3, all the fabric requirements are on our website, utterlysimple.com. Also, if you look on our YouTube channel, you can get the instructions again and see the videos all over again. So let's get started on block number 4. Block number 4 is called Old Snowflake. It's a 9.5-inch unfinished block. We're going to cut 1 3.5-inch red square, 2 4.25-inch blue squares, 4 3.5-inch yellow squares, and 8 3.125-inch white squares, plus white squares 2 4.25-inch. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do for this block is we're going to make half square triangles. So we're going to take the blue and the white fabrics. We're going to put right sides together. I know you've seen this all before. And we're going to draw a line corner to corner. And we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on either side of the line. And then we're going to cut on the line. We're going to have, this is going to give us 2 half square triangles, and this is going to give us 2 half square triangles. Here are our 4 half square triangles. I cut the dog ears off of those already. I'm going to do these. Okay. Now from here, we're going to make 1/4 square triangles. So we're going to put these together, right sides together with the blue opposite and the seams lined up, just like that. Then we're going to draw a line again, corner to corner, perpendicular to the last seam. We're going to sew a 1/4 inch on either side of this line and cut on the line. And you can see that we're going to get a nice 1/4 square triangle. 1 and then 2. We're going to do the same thing to this one so that we're going to have 4 1/4 square triangles. I like to kind of fuss with this a little bit and check it to make sure that my seams are lined up good so that when I do this, I'm going to have nice point in the middle. Okay. And here we are with our 4 1/4 square triangles. At this point, they should measure 3.5 inches. Next, we're going to make what I call the diagonal band squares. We're going to take the 4 3.5-inch yellow squares and the 8 3.125-inch white squares. So I'm going to show you one right here. We're going to put the white on here lining up to one corner. You can see it doesn't fit, but we're just going to line it to that corner. And then we're going to draw the diagonal line, not to the corner we're lined up, but to the other ones, like this. You see how that is? We lined up this corner, we drew this diagonal line. Okay, now we're going to sew on the line this time, on the line. Actually, what we want to do is what they call scant. So we want to come to, on this side where the corner's lined up, just 1 thread length over, right along that line, but just tiny, tiny close to it. Because when we fold this back, the thickness of the fabric takes up, and so you don't want it to come out like this. You want it to come all the way over. Like that. See? So draw the line, sewing essentially on the line, but a little bit to this side of it. And you're going to do that on all of them. Okay? Now, just so you understand what the whole thing is, I did one already so you can understand what we're doing. So When we're done, we're going to iron it back like that. We're actually going to trim this off with 1/4 inch seam allowance, but we'll do that in a minute. Then we're going to take another one. We're going to line up this opposite corner. We're going to draw the line again diagonally. We're going to sew, not quite on the line, but towards where we lined up the corners, askant. And you see when we've pressed this, it's going to give us those diagonal band blocks. Okay, so we've sewn and pressed them like this. Now we're going to cut off the parts that we don't need. So we're going to open it back like this, and we're going to put 1/4 inch from the seam line out, and we're going to cut that off. So this way, to make these band blocks is a little wasteful, but I think it's the easiest way to do it. We're going to do that on both sides. And what some people do is they take these leftover triangles and they sew them together, and they put them in a future project bag. Here I sewed one. You can sew it together, and now you have this nice, looks like 2 1/4 inch square. I wish I was someone who did that, but I don't. But you can do that with the waist. Now we're ready to lay out our block. We're going to take the 3 1/2 inch square, and we're going to arrange these around it, making sure that the, I'll call it the hourglass. The blue is always going like that. There you go, like that. And then make sure these are always pointing into the center. And here's our block. So you know the drill. We're going to sew each row together. This row, this row, this row. Then we're going to sew the rows together, and our block will be done. So here are the three rows. This one, I ironed the middle row seams out, and here I ironed in, and then this one out again. And the reason I did that is because when I put these together, I want to, nest those seams and make sure that I have a nice corner when I'm done. So I'm going to sew these 3 rows together. And here's the completed block. April's block number 4, Old Snowflake. This is one of my favorite blocks. I just really like the pattern on this block. If you thought this was fun, hit the like button. Remember to subscribe. We love to see your comments, and we love to see your finished blocks. So you can post them on our Facebook page or send us a message. Remember, our website is utterlysimple.com, where all these instructions are written. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next month.